balance Osmo Mobile 3. Unfold the gimbal, hold the motor of the tilt axis, and rotate the phone holder, keeping the DJI logo on the phone holder facing forward. Attach your phone, ensuring that the camera is on the left. The phone may fall to one side if it is unbalanced. Continue adjusting the phone's position until it is balanced. Rotate the phone 90 degrees. Continue
Huh? Not now. I was just playing something. What's the matter? Huh?
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago. AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago. AM 1570 WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIFTBPM.
What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. What's in it for the black people? What's in it? What's in it for the black people? I'm in it. For the black people. For the black people. For the black people. For the people, for the black people, for the black people, for the black people, for the black people. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. What's in it for the black people? Let's hear it. What's in it for the black people? Don't fear it. For the black people, 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 for the black people. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. What's in it for the black people? You know it. What's in it for the black people? Let's show it. For the black people, 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 for the black people.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like me said. Randy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we're about 60 years old. I be done had a heart
You gotta
attack.
get your heart rate up.
Okay, that not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah.
I don't like that.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm gonna need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right.
Well, every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
How about National Join a Positive Black Organization Day? Because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning.
Yeah, man. Ideas, man. You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind you. It's so clear to see that you wanna be free. find me. I'm walking right behind you. It's so clear to see that you wanna be free. Let's go. Standing my ground, I can't mess around now. It's like my time is in a bottle, captured by your love, yeah. Now I know women's got this thing going on. We can't stay around so long, but I wanna come correct. Baby, get your foot off my neck. You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind you. Understand clearly, yeah, that you wanna be free. It's the time that you spend making me think within. Is the trust still beginning? Fade away from beginning of the day. I can see you trembling times, and I can see you wondering mine. Is it me considered? Is you that's with it? See, you don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind thee. It's so clear to see, baby, that you wanna be free. You don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind thee. It's so clear to see, that you wanna be free, yeah. I'm just trying to be the best I can. You can call me the troubling man. Matter of fact, I'm from the side of the street. Baby girl, you're calling on me at the time that I feel your presence around me. Something that I can't let go. It's your time, everything around me there. I just wanna hold on, but you don't have to find me. I'm walking right behind you. It's so clear to see, that you wanna be free. I just wanna come correct, best I can. Baby, get your foot on my neck. And just before you just leave, baby, I've been trying to tell you I can breathe. You don't have to find me, baby, baby. I'm walking right behind you. It's so clear to see, that you want me free. Damn pressure, baby. I just wanna press you, baby.
WIFTBPM.
Tamika Scott. Yeah. As we take this journey through life, we face trials and tribulations. But just know, the enemy is not gonna win. Cause the storm is almost over. That's right. The storm is almost over.
Don't you give up, you come too far to turn back now. Hold your head up, it's almost over. So set up to take you to your destiny. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Oh, yeah.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people? Cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all, yeah, this is a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around that can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze, it's Sonia, and Ruthie, and Todd, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve them.
What's in it for the black people? All the lies we didn't heard before. Time to pay attention. You gotta do more than listen. Need some action with it. On the count of three, let's roll.
Wake up, Chicago. Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore is out for the day, and Sonia Escobar is in the building. Let's do this. Let's get the plane up, up, up and away. Let's get this bad boy to 60,000 feet pretty quickly. You know what, man? We got caught up. I got caught up in the music.
Caught up?
What you mean? Todd, you know a song called Caught Up?
Yes, somebody says that.
Some sings that. Somebody sings that somewhere in some song somehow. But this is the Maze Jackson Show. Oh, you want to go fishing now, huh? We've been here all this time and you want to go fishing now. You know this table is making me sensitive. I gotta. Sonia is probably like, I told you so. I think we gotta get some up, 60,000 feet. We are flying away. Let me run through.
Oh, before you go too far, I do want to say happy birthday to Steamboat Willie.
Who?
Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, man. When he was Steamboat Willie, he was a racist, bro. Like when
he was just on a tugboat.
Yep.
Maybe you're thinking of Mortimer Mouse.
No, I think Steamboat Willie, they just cut them all off. They just stopped. They don't show them anymore. They don't show any of the good stuff.
Oh, really?
No, like Song of the South, all that good stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Steamboat Willie was a...
I have a Song of the South, but I got it from Australia, and it won't play on our player.
What kind of player you got? A DVD player or a CD player?
No, it might even be Blu-ray, which may be a problem right there.
Wait a minute. You know what? I don't even think I have anything that connects. I'm mad at, like, what I want to do is do a collection of all the things that, like, you don't have anymore. Do you still keep your CDs? You still have CDs?
Oh, yeah. I just tripped over a bag of them the other day.
You know what? And they just sit in a pile somewhere. One day, maybe they'll come back around. I remember when having a CD collection was part of your coming of age as a man.
Which is probably why we like to own something.
Right. You know, I think that's why. I think black men took a lot of pride in their CD collections because they own them bad boys.
Did you have a black binder? You know, when you...
You know what? Every time I wound up with the binder, they all got stolen.
Oh.
Right? Like, the binder, what I found was that the binder was an easy, But
when you're driving, I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I used to keep my whole, like, you could keep up to 1,000 CDs, and it was almost like a bragging thing, some kind of ways. But then it was also like you literally had your whole collection in your hand. And if somebody decided they wanted to get out the car with it, and because I had
somebody you knew.
Right, and it was obviously somebody I knew because I had a company where we played music. And so I had everything all the time, and it was like all the freshest, newest. And so we would get a great collection. And I got so many CD cases that are just empty because they were inside of the right, and then you wind up buying duplicates, so I got rid of all that. So look, man, let me get through this list of real quickly because I'm gonna get us caught up real quick. You hit the speed boost on the plane, and I'm gonna run through them real quick. But let me just say this: shout out to Columbia House. Shout out to Columbia House.
You finally paid him off, huh?
No,
he finished.
No, I just waited the 14 years to get rid of it. I think Columbia House was the beginning of the demise of many a black man's credit. Until you learn the trick. But I won't tell you what the trick is because, then, Remember when you can get 12 CDs for a penny?
No, I got like 6, but you're younger than me. They probably were like, we need to up this thing.
Right, they upgraded the thing. All right, look, Trump's tricks are running out. I'm going to say, I think he needs to just go ahead and lay it down. Now, I know he's not, but I do think that it's time for him to lay it down so we can get cracking. Whatever's got to happen has got to happen. People got to get it moving. Did you see the state is returning to Tier 3 regulations? It means lines outside the grocery stores again.
Yes. The governor said that experts predict that there'll be like 45,000 more people dying. Or did I get that right? 45,000? Man, that sounds like a lot. By May.
My goodness.
I believe that. That could be a lot. Where is this Bill Gates? We got to watch Bill Gates.
Right. You think he's doing something in this?
The vaccine.
I'm just telling you, man. These people, they talk about, they put the stuff in books. They say if you want to hide something, put it in a book. And
right.
I told you about when I was in Arizona and they talked about how Bill Gates bought a whole town and was making a future city where everything was all connected and it was like his own.
Oh, it's Future World.
Well,
you see that movie?
No, I didn't.
Peter Fonda?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Peter Fonda. Nah.
But that's pretty much
related to James?
Like Westworld.
Oh my God, Westworld gets so confusing, man. I had to stop watching because I didn't know who was. It's like who's alive, who's not, who's a real person, who's not a real person. What's going on? I had to give it up.
Me too.
Did you tell the feds told Mayor Lightfoot to chill out on General Iron? Hold up, wait a minute. Maybe that's the Biden.
Good.
Maybe that's the Biden administration saying the people putting in the hope. Now.
If this isn't what we in the political world call environmental racism, I don't know what is.
Some would ask you, what the hell is environmental racism?
That's when you put things that pollute
that
the
you
air.
Wouldn't put in a white people's neighborhood.
Right, you put it in the poorest neighborhood where they need jobs, so they're starved for employment, and they generally will take it. But in this case, they're pushing back.
Man, all right. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing turns out. I am actually, man. General Iron is getting ready to get down with a lot of people, man. It's getting ready to be a big hullabaloo happening, Todd. A big hullabaloo. If I haven't seen one before, because they about to fight. They about to fight to put that pollution down.
I know.
Smack it down. I think it's so funny to me to watch the mayor talk about equity so many times, and then, talk about equity and then be in the position to approve something like this. This seems like an easy.
Yeah, no.
This seems like an easy one for her, but in my estimation, it makes me feel that was not a COVID cough.
I hope not.
That was a dry throat.
I don't want to be number 404 or whatever.
Okay. How about the mayoral budget mess? We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Look, she had some. The mayor. I've always said that she's had a challenge making friends.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be her personality.
And the math is not working out in her favor right now, so she might be rethinking her strategy. We'll talk about that a little bit later. CPS is to return to schools. Can I tell you?
Claire is not bowling. Even though I think they may have closed the bowling alleys.
They closing all the indoor sports are shut down too.
That took it out of her hands, which is probably good for all of us.
Yeah, because that's a real big compromise. Like the kids are putting the pressure on right now.
Yeah,
like they are ultimately putting pressure on the situation. Speaking,
Claire understands her mortality though. She was like, "Oh my, I don't know if I want to go."
That's good. You know what? Let me tell you this. I would advise the mayor not to ever allow herself to have a side-by-side comparison with her and Janice Jackson ever again.
What?
Yesterday on my favorite show, Chicago Tonight, they were not my favorite show. I take that back. I did not say that. This is my favorite show. But I meant like, we don't have any programming.
I get you.
We don't have any programming. So but anyway, they did, her and Janice Jackson were talking, Dr. Janice Jackson, who happens to be one of my favorite what do you call those people in government? My favorite bureaucrats. They were talking about the reopening of schools, and it was like they were both on a Zoom chat. And it was like Dr. Jackson would answer a question and it would be like nice, succinct, and the mayor would be like, but you know how it's always somebody that has to just put their...
Yeah, no matter what you say, they gotta
add
add
something to it. And it's like, they're like Madam Mayor, you could have got out of this like a shoo. But you decided that you wanted to make us all be reminded how much of a bully you tend to be, how abrasive you can be at times. I think who you think wins in a grace contest between her and Mayor Daley?
And a grace?
We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. I'm going to try and get to the rest of these real quickly. City Council cuts the restaurant delivery fees, but it just means that they're going to pass it on to the restaurants, and the restaurants are going to have to pay a larger fee to have their food delivered, so it's going to crash them out of the business. It's like, I don't like the restaurant fee, but I really don't want. It's interesting to see how the restaurants have more juice than anybody in the state right now. Like, the restaurants may be the most powerful industry right now in the state.
They were very much in Rom's kitchen cabinet.
Yeah, so literally in the kitchen cabinet.
Yeah.
Plus, and now they are the bully pulpit. Sam Toya, they got Sam Toya. Can he save the city?
Right.
You think they're trying to set him up for me? Watch, you can't save you. That's why I'm not even talking about Dr.
I know
Jackson.
Sam a little bit. Doesn't seem his style.
You know what?
He seems to want to be the power behind the throne.
Guts. Amazon launches an online pharmacy. Goodbye. Walgreens. Now, I don't know if they can beat Walgreens in the hood, though.
Walgreens,
No, but Amazon.
Yeah, pharmacies have a true history of being, your neighborhood thing. People
even the
know them
pharmacists,
forever.
Even the pharmacists that normally move into our neighborhoods now are still like the normal people. Yeah. Biden announces his cabinet.
Am I in it?
In the like if it was a Butler cabinet, maybe. But let me just say that Biden announces his cabinet, and
anybody we know. I should ask that.
Shout out to Cedric Richmond, who took the outreach position. He left his congressional seat as the chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus to take the traditional
Where's
black
he from?
role. Louisiana, actually.
Oh.
Todd, I'm surprised you didn't know that. You're such a New Orleans guy. But Cedric, he took that. We're gonna talk about this because it's like they were like, I was like, we're gonna get the Department of Outreach, Public Engagement, which is
there's
outreach,
more coming. I hope.
But that's the outreach position.
Yeah.
Right. Like all the big
trying to keep y'all.
Yeah, but that's what the outreach position is. That's the position
that's the guy who puts the signs down.
That's the sign
Head
job.
of signs.
That is the ultimate aspiration for the black person in political office. Realistically, that or the governor's senior advisor of outreach and special events. That you get to plan the party. But they don't want you where the money guys are. Anyway, let me get through two more. Lightfoot Capital Plan 3.7. She wants to take out another $3.7 billion loan to fix the bridges, roads, and everything. And I think that while that's a great idea, it may be a challenge. And the Pritzker family photo bounty. We're going to talk about that a little bit in the next conversation. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be right back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
You ever have one of those moments in Comic View that was just something you were like, wow, I can't believe that just unfolded like that?
Deion Cole will tell you, when he did his first Def Jam, he said he only had 15 minutes of material, but it was so impactful that they booked him, and now he's on the Def Jam tour with the 15 minutes, and he did 7 of them already on Def Jam. So now you got to create build an act. A new production company came in, and they decided, no, if they come out here and they bomb, show it, and put crickets.
Oh yeah, they
started putting little crickets and sound effects, and that didn't work. They would overdo it too. This was funny too. This is another behind the scenes comedy. Those laugh when you see people buckling over and laughing. That might not even be your audience.
They edited that from another.
Dude, you'll look and see this lady in all the episodes. You're like, she must be a paid audience member. How is that lady laughing at everybody's show? I used to do a joke. Like one time, I saw me laughing at me on Comedy View. I'm like, how did I get in the audience on my own special? What are they doing?
Oh man. David Williams.
Those are the days, man.
Man, thank you for stopping by Chicago Famous.
WIFTVPN. I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore is out the building today. She will be back. She got a, she on secret mission, Todd. When Ruthie, we got to watch her. Pay attention, world.
She something big balling.
But you got to watch. When Ruthie disappears, man, things happen. Things happen. So we got to watch out. But y'all, Ruthie will be back tomorrow. So we will see her in the building. We look forward to it. All right, y'all. Time for the social media question of the day. It is time for us to go back on lockdown, Todd. Almost. It's like almost. I feel like they know they need to call it, but they're scared to call it.
The election?
No, that's Donald Trump.
Oh.
That's Donald Trump. But I think what they need to do right now is call a shutdown. I think that they have talked ad nauseum enough about what has happened that I think they need to call for the shutdown. But I feel like they are scared to do it because there is public outrage, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well. So I want to go to the social media question of the day. Has the governor's administration lost the moral high ground on COVID-19, 20, and 21? And I say that because they're returning to level 3 mitigations at a time when we are 4 times as likely, not 4 times, we are 4 times higher than when they shut the state down the original time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And so the math doesn't seem to make sense to me. Then I look at the fact that if you would have watched that address yesterday, there was lectures. They were pleading. People was like, I was watching social. They was like, "Ooh, Dr. Ezike is mad." And I was saying to myself, they are trying to convince people. They are trying to beg people so they don't have to use the authority that they have already.
That's true. I mean, I agree with you.
Right? Like, the fact of the matter is neither one of them are at the height of their popularity at this point. And I'm talking about the governor and the mayor.
When times are bad, politicians aren't looked upon favorably, I'd say.
But they have to, in my estimation, I was listening to the mayor talk about the aldermen having to make tough decisions and tough choices. And now them voting on her budget wasn't about her. It was about all of us. But I think that they have essentially lost the moral high ground. There are reports of violations of all the COVID-19 policies by the executive members of the governor's staff. So functionally, everybody is out and about. And you see everybody out and about. You see people on social media, but you're trying to pretend like you don't. And your people are in that mix. Then you saw the questioning of what was the governor going to do for Thanksgiving. Right? And I feel like ordinarily, family is out of bounds. Now, let me back up, because there was a component in which the governor, somebody posted a picture of a girl who turned out to not be the governor's daughter, and it sent a stream of social media to his family, and people harassing her, and that is completely unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, family in that manner is, in my estimation, truly off limits.
Right.
But what I do think the governor has to ask a question, and I think he almost shows his privilege when he was like, my wife and I are in the process of making the hardest decision one of the hardest decisions we've ever had to make, in not being with each other on Thanksgiving. What you mean you're in the process? Right? Like, literally. Like, what do you mean you're in the process of thinking this out when you're telling us all we got to cancel Thanksgiving? What are you thinking about? Now, let me also say, I do think that it is a demonstration of privilege, extreme gubernatorial privilege, when this is a debate that most Illinoisans don't even have.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I think that it's hard. I have clients that I tell nobody is going to cry for a millionaire. And for a billionaire, they're going to be spiteful.
Right.
Right? Like, all of us are making that sacrifice. I mean, I just think about Ruthie. Right? When she says her and her sister are staying at home.
Instead of going back.
Right? Instead of going back. And they're like, they ain't got the option to get on a private jet and go somewhere else and half stay and half go. And like, and when you, like, do you read Second City and you read that, like, the rich people are having parties still? They're just having them in elite locations that nobody can see. And then you find out that like, when you hear about these people saying it's just like the haircut.
Uh-huh.
It's like, I don't know if they have the moral authority. The horse farm, like, when you have a governor's detail and people are being on the governor's detail and they have to leave their family, and it's going to leak. It's going to leak. And when you have a farm or a ranch or somewhere you can go out of state, that's in, and let's not trip. We know that the wealthy in the wealthy and the political white class all either go to Wisconsin or Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
We know it. It's not hidden. It is the known fact. So every weekend we know that the wealthy and the elite, and they are not having the same debates that they are telling us about. And I just wonder, do they still have the moral authority in this argument when they are not using even the same math? Right? Like, how do you say that? Like, I don't think you get to get on TV and lecture and scold and be. I think you grab the cojones and you say, I gotta be the adult in this situation. Now, it is my sincere hope that the wealthy among us recognize that this is the time when we have to have leadership. Right? And I don't know, Todd, if any of our elected officials, it's almost like when you think about the options, when I say the people that make the votes don't have to live with the consequences of the decisions that they make.
Mm-hmm.
And this is essentially this is like we're in a state of emergency. There is no Donald Trump to blame. Right? It's now you got to govern. What am I missing in this situation? Do you think they still have the moral high ground here?
That's well, you're right. When I say they, I mean the governor and certain senior officials who have the ability to move around are going to do some things that probably are outside of what the rules they would lay down are. I think his biggest problem is, the majority of people in the state don't want to be at home. So anything that he does outside of what he suggests for everybody else makes him a what do they call it? Hypocrite. Yeah, that's the word. So yeah, no, he has lost the moral high ground. Even though I don't think when you're the governor, I don't think there's any way you can ever really keep it, at least not for something this long. You are going to be running around and doing things that other people don't do just because of your office.
So,
but you try not to get caught, I guess.
So I guess the question is, the social media question of the day is, has the governor's administration lost the moral high ground on COVID-19, 20 and 21? I mean, do you think people, can we open up the lines? Yesterday they said they were busy. Okay. So, okay, got it. So my question becomes, what are we doing? Are we left to take personal responsibility in this situation?
You remember the movie The Purge?
I really never watched it, man.
Well, even the rich people had a different way of how they purged. They just hire somebody who needed money. Well, we'll give you $100,000. They hire you, come to their house, and they chop you up. I mean, rich people do things differently because they have the ability.
All right, well, let's talk about it when we come back. This is the Maze Jackson Show. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. We'll be right back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Tune in every Sunday. Don't miss it. Live from the West End for the Black People Media Studios. It is the Kickoff Kickback. Join the conversation with the brothers, Eugene McIntosh, Herb Howard, and myself, Terrence Tomlin.
We got analysis live from the stadium. The brother Joe Lewis will be following through. We got great guests coming in, players, personnel, people.
Say what? We do our thing every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, taking you right up to kickoff.
We picking the full slate of NFL games. We talking fantasy football. Gino got you covered on all the bets. It's a kickback.
Make sure y'all join the conversation. Smash that like button. Smash that share button. And continue to help us push the culture forward.
Don't miss it every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, live here from the West Center for the Black People Media Studios.
Whatever happened to you falling in that grocery store?
Your guess is as good as mine. My auntie said she knew someone. I gave her all the information, but that was 3 weeks ago and I still haven't heard anything.
You still got time to talk to the lawyers at the CLN.
The CLN? What's that?
It's the Chicago Legal Network, a group of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of law, especially the laws most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. Plus, all the lawyers at the CLN all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community.
Sounds like I definitely need to contact them.
Say less. I can text you everything you need to know. So if you're ever injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information, or call 773-912-3545. That's 773-912-3545. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
Call in and say it with your chest.
872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
To the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Hey, the phone lines are open. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Has J.B. Pritzker, has Mayor Lori Lightfoot, have they both lost the moral high ground on the COVID-19 20 and 21 situation? Todd, are we on our own?
This is, anything this long, eventually you're going to start throwing rocks at the top. So, this is just lasting too long.
But
it's not their fault, but it may be Trump's fault, but I don't think it's partially their fault too, because they want to be the governor and the mayor. So that means instead of making the hard decision that's good for everybody, you make the soft decision
that kills.
That doesn't really do what you know you should do, but it keeps some people happy.
Let me ask you. So, do you think,
as you say in the 48 Rules of Power, I don't know what it is.
48 laws,
whatever. I know a lot of people who read that book.
I'm telling you, that book that book, Robert. Man, that book is powerful. People say it's a terrible book, but I'm telling you, it's powerful.
Yeah, but I'm sure it is, like The Prince was and all that.
It's a combination of everything.
Right. So,
Machiavelli.
Try to take but all that is about winning and being on top. And to win, I just read this in Sun Tzu. One of the things that happens when leaders lose is sometimes they put their troops in their emotional space. So basically, it's saying you got to sacrifice people to win.
Now, knowing who's dying.
I didn't write the book now.
Right. But I think that's important for black people to think about.
Right.
I think you need to think about how important it is Because I do think you have to sacrifice certain people, and you have to think about who's expendable, and you have to think about who is really going to die. Now,
see, this goes back to that Star Trek. I'm telling you, everything that we generally talk about
what Star Trek was that, Todd?
It's the one where the governor killed, I think it was Kirk's uncle and aunt, because they didn't have enough food on the planet, so he killed half the people. And he was like, we got enough food for only half the planet, so I'll kill half of them. Well, little did he know that a ship was going to arrive 2 days later with a lot of food. But it's that theory, I'm going to sacrifice some to save as many as I can.
But how? I think the key.
But
to
in
that
you can become, you probably are the demon no matter what. You're doomed no matter what you do there.
How do you pick which some though?
Well, that's why you're doomed. That's one of the reasons, at least.
I mean, and I think we as black people have to look at how they pick. Right? I think that's an important consideration for us.
Well, that's what the president was trying to do. He was like, look, we'll kill off all the old and sick people. Well, basically, he was doing the purge, but we'll kill off all the old and sick people, and the rest of us can live at the level that we're used to.
You know what? What is that? Was that me? That's not me.
Not me.
Oh.
It wasn't there a minute ago.
You know what? I think I know what it is. I found it. It was the phone. All right, so give us a call, 872-259-7474. Are you staying in for Thanksgiving? Is your family taking the advisory seriously?
We're not. We see my sister, mother, and my in-laws. That's our group, and we're all very conscious
of who you take in and
right.
kind of do your own personal contact tracing.
Yes. So, I mean, I told you my brother-in-law is an epidemiologist, and he was like, we keep to our strict little group, we should be all right.
So, you know what? Can we get your brother-in-law that's the epidemiologist? You got a brother-in-law that's epidemiologist?
Uh-huh.
Dang, Todd. What happened
He ran
to you?
the Department of Health for the county.
Did you gave him the job? Or did he meet her there?
No, my dad gave him the job.
Nepotism.
I don't care. He went to.
There you are, you political pig, you.
He went to the University of Michigan. I don't care what you say.
Forget his University of Michigan degree. Dang nabbit. Todd.
Yeah. I don't care what you say now because it's over. It's over. Call it a day.
You wouldn't be are you singing now, huh? All right, so let me ask a question. Are people taking the family component of this? Like, are you gonna not see, like, if family, what are you gonna do for Thanksgiving? Like, and so
I'm pretty sure we'll all be in our own homes.
I think we'll be in our own home too.
Yeah.
Right? I do think they have canceled Thanksgiving, but would you be bothered if you found out like that the governor or that the other people had like a Thanksgiving party?
No, that's if they kill themselves off, that's up to them.
Yeah, I would think they would try and keep it together. All right, y'all. I just think that the politicians have lost the moral authority on this situation. It just is my humble belief that without it's my humble belief that they have lost the moral authority on this situation. Let me say this 100% off limits, family. And I think that all the kids should have the right to be kids.
Right.
Like, every kid, every teenager, regardless of who your parents are, is still a teenager. And quite frankly, they don't
what
care.
do you think about people protesting outside of the mayor's home?
I think that the outside of the mayor's home is okay.
I mean, her daughter does live there, and her wife.
I mean, her daughter has security. Let me say this. So I'm in a precarious position because I have a wife that's a public official that one day probably is going to be like
the mayor.
See, there you go, Todd.
I know. I'm just trying
There
to start.
you go.
I'm just trying to start.
You
mess.
start some mess, and then we okay. I promise you, I keep looking over my shoulder because the day she come flying,
I'm
in
getting
here,
security.
ain't nothing no security gonna be able to do for you, bro. I'm telling you. When Kiana come, it's gonna be a problem. But
isn't that the cat in Key and Peele?
No, that's the person that's gonna come whoop your tail up in here. I have seen what white people are willing to do
To win? Oh, what are we talking about?
in the public protest space.
Uh-huh.
Right? And I have seen
Yeah, what's her name? Julie? No, not Julie. Chakowski.
Mhm.
She thought it was okay to jump on Rostenkowski's car. And she talks about it to this day, like she's a celebrity about it.
I mean, but that appeals to their base, right? It's like everybody knows their base, and it worked for her.
Yeah, it did work for her.
I am going to say that family is off limits. I do think that if you are involved in a very high-profile issue, if you are the mayor, like I don't think if you take the position of mayor, right, they can't come on my lawn, but they can be in the street. You can't block my car. Don't touch my kids. Don't say nothing to my kids. Right? Like you can be outside the door. You can be like, Maze Jackson is a big hit. Maze Jackson, he's a whatever. You can call me whatever.
Uh-huh.
Don't say nothing to my kids. Don't touch them. Don't even look at them crazy. Let them go on about their business. Now in the house, in the yard, and I would have to say you got to stay in the house if you don't want to hear that. Right? Or we'll build a bigger fence, or we'll make sure you got access to a gym in some places. But I do think that there are some things that come with public life, especially when you take those high profile positions. Now,
when my dad had a stroke,
now guns outside, no
guns. When my dad had a stroke,
Mhm.
and I was the councilman, city councilman. The press just camped out in front of our house. I mean, like they were
now
our
that's
house
classless.
and two houses. Yeah, as a matter of fact, my neighbor started turning on the water to make them get off the lawn. But yeah,
that was
crazy.
classless. Now, see, that's different to me, right? Like I'm talking about a political issue. If you're standing on a political issue, if you are doing a freaking death watch or a count or some craziness, it's like, nah, man, you don't do that. You just don't do that, right? Like, but I feel like those are the things that we are like. They wouldn't do that to a white person. They would not do what they did to you to a white person. They would not have done it that way. It's the Maze Jackson Show, but we accept a lot of bull. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages. We are going to talk about the budget. Seems like it's 11 votes short of what they need to pass.
That's a lot of people.
That's a tremendous amount of people with the budget vote coming up. We got to watch everybody needs to tune into the council hearing today, the finance committee hearing, to see what they come up with. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
WIFTBPM.
He is joining Chicago Famous because he is born and raised in the city of Chicago. He is famous. He is Chicago Famous. Mr. Rick Party. Welcome to the show,
What's
sir.
happening for the show starter?
Ricky!
So I had to figure out at that point, what am I going to do with my life? I would listen to the radio. Earl Boston was a radio personality, and I would call in all the time and ask him, hey, can you make a dedication to my girlfriend? Every day I would call him. He said, well, why are you calling me every day at 10 o'clock? You're supposed to be in school. I said, I'm sick, man. He said, to be honest, man, tell you the truth. But this man taking the time to talk to me on the other end of the phone every day, making dedications to my girlfriend who's in school while I'm out, that just inspired me just as a street kid, living, from Inglewood, Inglewood and Cabrini Green,
Right.
back and forth.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
tune in every Sunday. Don't miss it. Live from the West End for the Black People Media Studios. It is the Kickoff Kickback. Join the conversation with the brothers, Eugene McIntosh, Herb Howard, and myself, Terrence Tomlin.
We got analysis live from the stadium. The brother Joe Lewis will be following through. We got great guests coming in, players, personnel, people.
Say what? We do our thing every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, taking you right up to kickoff.
We picking the full slate of NFL games. We talking fantasy football. Gino got you covered on all the bets. It's a kickback.
Make sure y'all join the conversation. Smash that like button. Smash that share button. And continue to help us push the culture forward.
Don't miss it every Sunday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, live here from the West End for the Black People Media Studios.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. You know, however, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
In it for the black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all, yeah, this is a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze, it's Sonia, and Ruthie, and Todd, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve on.
Chicago, wake up world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore is out of the building, and Sonia Escobar is telling me what to do right now. So I'm going to get a second on real quick, and I'm going to get it cracking. But you know what, Todd? Todd, before, they about to shut it down, but you still know you can get your food, right?
Ooh, I love to eat.
You know what? If you want to eat, you can still get your food, your culture, and make an impact. Because listen to me, because What's in It for the Black People Media is proud to support the Woodline, located at 1200 East 79th Street. It's an innovative economic center for the entire family. Stop by, try their delicious jerk chicken inspired menu, plus get details on the Igloo dining experience. Now, they have event space, but we got to chill out on that for a minute. Plus, they got, you just got to keep your events down. Keep your numbers down. The governor done cut them down. But for more information about reservations, because now to go out to eat or to go somewhere to eat, you got to have a reservation. Check or their COVID-19 friendly space. Visit Visit them online at www.thewoodlawn1200.com. That's Woodlawn and 79th Street. Man, shout out to my man DB Digby doing his thing. I think I might have heard he. Oh, Todd, I think I might have heard he might be rocking with you and your guys.
Who that?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I have to check. I got to check my sources before I give it up. But shout out to all of the black businesses that are supporting us. Shout out to Solo Beauty. Shout out to we gotta send a big shout out to Sissy's Tacos too. All right, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Todd, Maze, and Sonia, and Ruthie and Todd. That's how it went down. All right,
I ain't mad.
So Todd, the mayoral budget. Have you seen this? She faces Fran Spielman did the. So Fran Spielman, Chicago Sun-Times, did the story that we've been talking about for months. Todd, I have been talking about this since day one. The fact that Mayor Lori Lightfoot has not done a very good job of making friends. She has been a bit abrasive to the legislative branch.
I'm waiting for her to invite me over for dinner, We'll have some potato salad and raisins.
You gonna be waiting. You will be waiting. You will be waiting. But the challenge becomes for the mayor since day one, from the day she was inducted, and she used it as an opportunity to belittle the alderman.
Yeah, she turned around and said, "Here, take this jab." Ooh!
And stand up and clap while you do it.
It's a straight jab, too.
Right.
Full circle.
And people cheered.
Mm-hmm.
As
Yeah,
they
people
sat
cheered.
there embarrassed. They were embarrassed, but they sat there and they took it.
Oh, yeah. People are like, yeah, show them.
Whoop them. Get them. Mm-hmm. Then she immediately ran back to City Hall afterwards and stripped all of the aldermen of their zoning and aldermanic prerogative privileges via executive order.
Cut the committees, but I'm guessing people like that part.
Then what we saw was that through a string of, she used the first city council meeting to check Ed Burke, who has been silent
until yesterday.
Where he demonstrated his intricate knowledge of the budget. And while there are
you know what's funny about that? He said the things that the liberals would usually say to the establishment.
Because Ed Burke has always figured out a way to morph with time. Like, for all of the negative things that you may say, Ed Burke has always figured out a way to ingratiate himself with his colleagues.
Yes.
Even the most left of the left. Probably the only person I don't think he probably got to is my best friend in my head. Right? 'Cause she just ain't going. Shout out to Alderman Jeanette Taylor. But now, the mayor, in the midst of having a limited knowledge, right? I mean, I think she jumped into the reins of the mayor's race and she had a carrot and a whip.
Mm-hmm.
And she immediately proceeded to using the whip.
Right.
Right? At no point have we ever really seen her offer a carrot. Right? To a pretty pliable audience. Like, they like carrots.
I'm guessing she's offering carrots, but not to the people that we know about.
Well, the fact of the matter is, the white guys have they're universally sticking together, and they don't care about the whip. We invented the whip.
Right.
So the more you attack us on property taxes, the more we win with our audience.
Right.
Right? Like, the more you say we want to raise the property taxes to anybody in the places where she actually won, we're going to win.
Yes.
At the same time, she is also, the white folks are united in their no-ness against her.
Right.
They're united. she has proceeded to the Latinos with immigration, further loosening of immigration restraints, which she took off the board and now is offering the Democratic Socialist / Latino caucus, which is a morphing thing, right? A minimum wage increase. For the black aldermen, she told those wards that don't support this budget, as all of the white people are like, we're not supporting it.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all don't support it, I am going to, don't ask me for SHIT. We heard Alderman Bill, who was a first-hand witness, tell us that. Which means that she's going to starve our community for votes that essentially, once those aldermen take the vote for the property tax increase, what's so ironic about it is she will be able to leverage their vote for it against them in the next election. Meanwhile, the white people who resist will be able to use the same argument that we fought the property tax increase, even if they lose.
Mm-hmm.
So they solidify themselves with their base.
They do.
The more they fight the mayor on the property tax increase, the more important that the Black Caucus is. Now, the Black Caucus is apparently looking for more money for crime prevention and mental health services. Now, trust me when I tell you that I believe in those things.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that that money is not going to go to our community. It will be given to white people to re-give back to us the resources that our caucus fights for.
Right. After they take their cut off.
After they take their cut off the top, they pay their administration fees, they pay their lobbyists, they pay all of their people. Then they will then pass the money out to a larger delegate agency because they won't trust the black agencies with the money.
Right.
Right. And all we got is Buffy. Shout out to Buffy for being a fiscal agent. I don't know if they still are, but that's our fiscal agent.
Mm-hmm.
But are we seeing millions of dollars going to them for the crime prevention in our neighborhoods? No. So what essentially we're doing is fighting for $36 million to go to essentially Chicago Cred. Chicago Cred, Metropolitan Family Services, and a couple of other agencies that will win off of violence prevention. When we hear about violence prevention, we don't hear about black aldermen talking about black organizations.
Well, there's the problem.
Right? So we know that the crime prevention money goes to a guy who then passes it out to our guys. Thus,
even though I will say, as I see it, the black organizations don't want to have a fiscal agent that makes sure that they don't screw it up. At least the ones I've seen.
I'm saying we don't even have our own real black fiscal agent, do we?
Well, that's a problem too.
Right. So again, I'm saying I don't mind if they don't want to do it and they know how to do it, and you get an accounting group that's black owned that says, okay, we're going to make this work.
Right.
But again, if you're going to, so I'm just saying, but all of what are social services? Depreciating assets.
You know what the problem with the alderman is? I feel like I said that last month. But the problem
it didn't change. Nothing changed.
I guess that's true. The problem with the is what Clemenza said. They don't know how to make spaghetti. When it's time to go to the mattress, they don't have any spaghetti. They're afraid that they will not eat if they fight.
Exactly. So now, the mayor, 11 votes short. According to city council sources, she's 11 votes short. 11. They're giving a budget address today, and they're 11 votes short. Now, I want to understand, Todd, what?
Hey, see, that's why I don't know.
No, say it.
First, I was gonna say that's why I'm against giving like aldermen more money to try to keep them from working, because the working helps keep them autonomous from the mayor.
I don't get it.
I don't think it's a good idea for everybody to always be in the mayor's camp.
Let's stop. Let's talk about it more when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break. Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
You ever have one of those moments in Comic View there was just something you were like, wow, I can't believe that just unfolded like that?
Deion Cole will tell you, when he did his first Def Jam, he said he only had 15 minutes of material, but it was so impactful that they booked him, and now he's on the Def Jam tour with the 15 minutes, and he did 7 of them already on Def Jam. So now you got to create build an act. A new production company came in, and they decided, no, if they come out here and they bomb, show it, and put crickets.
Oh yeah,
they started putting little crickets and sound effects, and that didn't work. You know, they would overdo it too. This was funny too. This is another behind the scenes comedy. Those laugh when you see people buckling over and laughing. That might not even be your audience.
They edited that from another.
Dude, you'll look and see this lady in all the episodes. You know, you're like, she must be a paid audience member. How is that lady laughing at everybody's show? I used to do a joke. Like one time, I saw me laughing at me on comedy. I'm like, how did I get in the audience on my own special? What are they doing?
Oh man. David Williams.
Those were the days, man.
Man, thank you for stopping by Chicago Famous.
We fun guy.
Where's tomorrow?
Fun guy, what's up, baby?
What it do, baby?
Yeah, yo, what do you know?
You know what I'm saying? So I'll be telling you.
What's going on, Chicago? What's in it for the Black People Media presents?
I want to go higher. Oh my God.
Call your sons, call your daughters, call your friends, call your neighbors.
The big Tuesdays and Thursdays, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin. We got what you need right here on What's in it for the Black People Media.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
Listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host Todd, Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore is on the she's out on a make a money mission. Can't tell nobody what's going on. You know, coming up, Todd, did I tell you at 8 o'clock? Shout out to the Fighting Illini, ILL. The Chancellor Robert Jones will be on.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yes.
Man, I would have worn my Illini stuff. He's not going to be here, but I still would have wore it.
You know what? I wasn't even thinking I should have worn my Illini stuff, too. I'm going to go see if we got an Illini bag here somewhere. Did I give you... we might have some Illini gear here somewhere.
Yeah, you got so much stuff, you just leave things when people give it to you.
Man, I'm just not... you know what? I'm going to go check and see what we got. All right, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson Todd. We got a budget issue. Oh, excuse me. This from Madam President Tony Preckwinkle's Chief of Staff, Lynetta Haynes. She wanted to inform you, Todd, Tony's Chief of Staff, a.k.a. Lynetta Haynes, is a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, Sorority Incorporated. Hold on. shout out to her. I know they basking right now in they glory as they getting ready to make their plans to go do party walks through the White House. She said, tell Todd thanks for the shout out. John is their legislative affairs guy.
Oh, see, I'm sorry. I stopped paying close attention at least, to the county a while back.
You know what?
I just knew he was a higher up.
You know, we got to get the president in here.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen her in a while. We might have to reach out to them and get her in the building. But shout out to Lynetta Haynes. You know what? Shout out to the staff that don't run away from people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give her a big plug. That's why I said, okay, it's all good. I'm going to read that. All right, but Todd, so what is in it for the black people in the city budget? Let me ask a question. How do we, in a time of drought, in a time like this, Todd, how do we win in a legislative budget situation like this? Like, what do we consider a win?
Hey, man, that's a good question.
Because somebody's going to win. Under the circumstances of what this is, someone is going to win. Now,
you got to have some ask.
Well, the ask is to get to $36 million in social service spending.
You know what? I realized a long time, and I'm certain I heard somebody else say that. I might have heard you say it. I don't care if we are. When I was the county board president, we were $500 million under. You know what we knew was going to happen though?
What?
We were going to spend $2.8 billion.
That
you know, somebody was going to get some money somewhere.
And again, I take umbrage with the concept that our idea of the win. And this is not a diss. This is my concern that the win is considered social services.
Right.
Like, there's a $3.7 billion capital plan. Now, Todd, first of all, help me understand, why would we propose a $3.7 billion capital plan that is a loan in the middle of a pandemic where we don't know where the money's coming from? And let me also ask you, what does it signal that Ed Burke has come from behind the shadows? That let me back up, because I want to go there first. Mm-hmm. I want to understand, why do you think, because literally Ed Burke has not spoken since that first meeting except to vote yes for everything for the mayor. Right?
Well, he spoke up once, but
she beat him down.
Yeah.
And after he spoke down, he was trying to get the female version. She was like, I'm going to be a chairman if I want to.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, but you know, it's gender. She said, I want to be the chairman. I'm going to be the chairman. Now, since then, he hasn't spoken.
Nope.
Yesterday, he popped out. And I want to say I think he reasserted his position as the most probably astute and knowledgeable person about how the budget works.
Right.
And yesterday reminded the council in a time that they are rudderless how to wield their power. Now, do you think he comes out yesterday if he is not convinced that they don't have the votes? And how does the mayor get the votes? Like, with no relationship, with no like, what?
He knows the same thing that you know. And what you said earlier about...
Which is what?
What you said earlier about the white people know that their people never want a property tax increase. So, this is kind of like, you know how Basil Rathbone was always...
Who?
Okay, let's see.
Basil Rathbone? What?
Yeah, you know, remember Robin Hood? That used to be a big thing when I was a kid.
Basil Rathbone?
But I guess people don't watch that anymore. But he was always in movies. Well, he wasn't always, but he was in movies when he wasn't Sherlock Holmes. And he swordsmanship was his thing. He knew how to use a saber. That's what I think about Burke. Burke knows when it's time to pull out the saber, when it is time to cut you, because you don't have to with a saber. You don't have to with a foil.
Okay, what's a saber?
The saber is the sword you see that has a cutting edge. It's like a long knife. It's a cutting edge on one side.
Okay.
And so you can
ching 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 ching.
Yeah, you can.
That's the
cut people all the time.
What's the one that D'Artagnan uses? Because he's got the what? Okay, so which? Okay,
they probably use sabers because
a saber is two sides.
Because you know the foil that they use in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
There's only that point. Yeah, I mean you got to stick somebody with that. So I think he's using the saber with the cutting edge, and he's like, if I can cut her enough,
she'll bleed out.
Yes.
Now, does the mayor get her 26 votes? And if she does,
well, she got a broadsword.
No, what's her broadsword? What's a broadsword?
A broadsword's a huge sword with sharp edges on both sides, but you need like two hands to weld it. So she's just kind of like trying to cut everybody at one time.
2 hands, but she's kind of small.
Yeah, she's kind of
small.
And in the real world, in the broadsword, she'd be killed because she'd have a hard time picking
it up. A broadsword, you need 2 hands to wield it, but you need muscles. Now,
yes,
I guess so.
Maybe the restaurant association is her muscle.
You think in the restaurant association, how many restaurants are in the black neighborhoods that are black owned?
Oh.
Like, how much muscle does that give her in the black neighborhood? See, it's like, here's my thing.
Interesting.
So the restaurant association is powerful north.
Right.
But who is powerful south? Who is powerful west? Like, we need a gang.
Well, black people need money from everybody.
We need a gang.
Because,
we need a gang, man.
Black people, they're not like white politicians.
We need a gang.
When they go for and ask for campaigns, it's like asking for alms. People are throwing nickels.
Right.
And sometimes they're throwing what are those things that aren't really, they look like coins, but they're not really.
Slugs.
Yeah, they're throwing slugs.
Well, I told you that, but that's the whole problem with making white lobbyists rich. They come to you, they come kick it with you, give you the soul clap, call you Madam Such and Such, drop off a $200 check, and then they walk off with $10,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
And you just made them rich on the Negro deal. And it's like, I really wish it really is bothersome to me. I gotta say this. It's bothersome to me that the most fearsome people in the black community are white. It
you
really
like Father
does.
Flager?
Hey man, see, I left Father Flager out of it. I'm trying to. You around here sending me messages. Leave.
No, he didn't say leave him out of the conversation. He said just don't give him a title.
Don't call him the king of the black people. Okay, I'm not calling him the king of the black people.
Right.
But don't be getting me into a look, man. I don't need no more. But y'all, like I'm just saying, like if the mayor could just walk up to our biggest representative and poke him,
right,
and we don't get and that's a problem for me. I male or female, it has absolutely nothing to do with gender. It has to do with like,
well, as I see it, the problem is people are like, phew, glad that wasn't me. Instead of hold on there, they're
but
like, that wasn't me.
Here's the problem. What they don't understand is black people don't want to pay property taxes either. And here's what I think that everybody should be recognizing black people is that there was a resounding no vote amongst white people for the fair tax, scare tax. Those same white people are going to be voting in Chicago again. Right? We're going to be left holding the bag, and then what's going to happen to the black aldermen is they're going to be left to save the city for white people, and then they're going to get their butts kicked. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We will be back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Boys, step aside. The radio rookie is in the building. The Book of Dawn, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market.
Introducing
now
your
there is an
trusted
app that
source
does
for
just
high-quality
that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations.
better known as
Blackmoji D9 offers
believe
more than
black
an
is
emoji
beautiful,
app.
and
It is a
that
cultural
beauty should be
experience
reflected
of
in the
black
digital market.
excellence.
Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
I miss your kiss. Your kiss is one of a kind. It feels so nice. Girl, you do it right. I miss. Oh, girl, you don't go too fast. You take your time. Just how I like. I miss. Hey, oh, you kiss it, then I'm drifting off your love. Keeps me floating, girl. I miss. And ooh, it feels so good. I wanna come down. Girl, I'm missing that love. Come on. Ooh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. Oh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. Come on. When you're not around, girl, I'm tweaking. I swear I be hearing things. And if I cannot have you, girl, I'm feeling. Oh, that's such a talent you bring. Yeah. Ooh, and day is too long. If I can hold you in my arms, if I can find a real good love. Ooh, that kiss is a drug to me. Baby, your kiss is all I need. Come on. Ooh, it feels so good, baby. Oh, come on. Ooh, babe, I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me. I miss it already, girl. I'm missing all those kisses. Baby, bring those lips to me.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. Sean White, Kisses, Chicago music. Play some music. We doing our thing. They gotta submit it. All right, y'all. Todd, you know what, Todd? We're gonna put you in. We're gonna do a Todd record. We're gonna do a Todd sings the hits. Todd, we know Todd. We be hearing you, man. You be trying to get it in. Y'all should see Todd in the morning when the songs. We're gonna have to go ahead and throw him in there.
I'm gonna need one of those. What are they? Auto tuner?
Like Roger or like T-Pain.
Who?
You know what? All right. So I was saying this earlier. I don't think that the mayor should ever sit right next, do a Zoom call with Dr. Janice Jackson. Like, it's just too much of a comparison in your face. Does that make sense to you?
Well, let me tell you.
You gonna stay out of that?
No. Maybe I don't know. But either way, I never thought it was a good idea to take your specialist and stand next to him and then always try to do an Oprah. You're an expert, even though you brought an expert on, you know. I mean, it worked for Oprah, but I don't think it works well in government.
And so the challenge that I'm gonna say that I first of all, that bothered me. I think Dr. Janice Jackson is probably one of the most capable and probably one of the most liked bureaucrats, even in a time of pandemic, right? I would say she is probably the most credible person that I find in CPS or in the bureaucracy when it comes to the well-being of our children or black folks, considering her title and considering her constraints. Yesterday, the city unveiled their plan to return to school in January, in spite of the fact that we are in the midst of a pandemic. And I really thought about this a lot. And I want to know, can black people afford to keep their children out of school? Both figuratively and literally. Figuratively and literally. Can black people afford to not send their children to school? Now, I ask this question because I do believe that there is an inherent risk in sending your children back to school, public or private. But I would argue that most people still do not have the option not go to work. And I think are we making the best of this situation? Right? CTU is like, we're not going back to school. Now, I feel like the mayor is disingenuous because yesterday, Brandis asked the mayor about the safety of returning people to school. And the mayor, and she said, were people safe? And she said, well, of course people are safe. And Brandis, you have to remember that we've had people in the schools all this time. What she did not say is that there were 87 cases of COVID of those people that returned to schools in the empty schools. Now, again, when we talk about, this goes back to my social media question of the day, have they lost the moral high ground? And I'm concerned with Dr. Janice Jackson as she has to lead this initiative of returning, because I do think that there is a double, triple risk with this coronavirus. And I really am concerned about what is happening to this generation of children. Like, you think about putting an uneducated bubble of CPS students in the pipeline, right? And sending that bubble all the way through the pipeline until they get out. Where does the catch-up happen? And I do think we've got to be real about the fact that a lot of us don't have the option of not working. Period. Like, I think one of the things that I think is very, I don't want to say disingenuous, but very disconcerting is, Especially in people like think about the governor is making a decision of whether they're going to they're going to get together for Thanksgiving and have a raucous, not even a raucous, whether they're going to go to Florida. Like, I mean, honestly, if the option is Florida, like that would be the height of hypocrisy for us to find out. Florida. Right, but if it went to Florida, forget Trayvon, like don't even give me reason on all of the reasons that if you go to Florida for this whole thing is. But I think the moral high ground gets lost in these conversations when the person telling you not to have the one moment of joy you can have because you have to go to work, you have to brave that. And I don't know if they understand the position that most black people are in. Who do you know with only $1,500, with the average person only having $1,500 in savings, can afford not to work?
Right.
Like essential or non-essential. I don't work, I don't eat. I do not have the taxpayers to rely on. I don't have a bargaining unit that can say, give me all the weed money so that I can make sure that me and my family are straight.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have that leverage. And I don't think that, so when I hear people talking about the win for us is more crime prevention, that is a trickle-down situation. Because the biggest social service agencies or the biggest people that are doing the most work in the neighborhood are the ones that got the most funding.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that ain't us.
Right.
How? Who is really planning for us? Who is taking us into consideration? And I'm concerned that so I don't know how to figure in the teacher component because I do not want to risk the lives of teachers. But I do think that when you look at the base of who is the teachers in our schools, they're probably not willing to risk their lives for our children. Right? Like, I would have a hell of a fight saying, hell no, I'm not going back to no school on the south side of Chicago so I could be around these little snotty-nosed Negroes that I don't like already. I don't know if the totality of our perspective is being taken into, and I don't want to. I want to be clear that I can't imagine. I have a different kind of life. You have a different kind of life. Whether we have the ability to make a different kind of sacrifice. Let me just put it that way. Right? So that some of those options we can try to mitigate for our children.
Right.
But the fact of the matter is, for all of that, I still got to go to work.
Right.
Who is I asked this yesterday about our children and the role that we have to protect them and to nurture and guide them through this process. Man, this is tough. And I don't know how anyone... Todd, can parents afford not to send their kids to school? Black parents? Realistically?
Man, that's a tough thing. I mean, you don't really want your kids at home by themselves. They're even expensive when they're at home. They're using up electricity, eating all the food. So, yeah, I mean, that's a hard chip.
Should CPS open? What do you think? Let me ask y'all. Could y'all give us a call? 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Should CPS open back up? Why or why not?
We get notices when somebody has COVID-19.
You contact trace. They got you in the phone book.
Well, no, I mean from the school.
872-259-7474. Should CPS open the schools back up? Do you agree or disagree?
We probably get something once a month. I mean, once a week. Maybe not once a week. Maybe every couple of weeks. They say, hey, this kid over here has got that. And then, yeah, they do contact trace, but they just let everybody in the school know that somebody had it.
So do you send the kid back to school? They found it. They removed the kid from the pile.
And everybody else who they can figure they were in contact with has to stay home for a certain amount of time.
872-259-7474. Are you a bad parent if you send your kid back to school? Like, are you a bad parent if you take the risk?
But, also, Claire goes to school 2 days a week. She's not there 5.
Okay, so does that limits the COVID exposure? But are you? I mean, hey man, I don't know what the parents. What factors are you taking into consideration? Are you a bad parent if you allow your child to go back to school during this time? Are you risking their lives? Do you teach? Do you do everything you can to prevent, but still say exist and operate? I am, because I really don't think that we're taking into factor the fact that black parents don't have the option not to work. But knowing that there is a group that is sacrificial, or what do you call it, expendable? Will they put the best measures in place to protect our children? This is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Parents, are you sending your children back to school January 4th? What do you judge people who do? Are you judging me? Am I judging you? It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Hey, are you ready for some authentic, delicious street tacos on the south side of Chicago? Then stop by Sissy's Taco Bar pop-up at 312 East 75th Street this Thursday, November 19th from 6:30 to 9:30 p.m. And don't forget, they're closed this Friday and next week for the holidays, but they'll be back open December 3rd and 4th. Experience their jerk chicken, sriracha shrimp, and blackened salmon tacos. And don't forget to ask about their Rome walking taco, Sissy's street corn, and children's meals that come with a special prize. Visit sissystacobar.com for more info.
Boys, step aside. The Radio Rookie is in the building. The Book of Dawn, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. on What's In It for the Black People Media.
Whatever happened to you falling in that grocery store?
Your guess is as good as mine. My auntie said she knew someone. I gave her all the information, but that was 3 weeks ago and I still haven't heard anything.
You still got time to talk to the lawyers at the CLN.
The CLN? What's that?
It's the Chicago Legal Network, a group of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of law, especially the laws most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. Plus, all the lawyers at the CLN all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community.
Sounds like I definitely need to contact them.
Say less. I could text you everything you need to know. So if you're ever injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information, or call 773-912-3545. That's 773-912-3545. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation.
WIFTBPM.
I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. I want to make sure you all remember, stay tuned. Coming up soon, we are going to be talking to Chancellor, University of Illinois, greatest school in the country. No shade to the HBCUs. Black man, member of Phi Beta Sigma, also Chancellor, University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. He'll be on with us at 8 o'clock. But I want to go to the phone lines real quick. Should CPS reopen the schools? Let me see that list again. Let me talk. Caller, are you there? Hello, caller. You're on the Maze Jackson Show. Can you hear? Hello, caller. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Talk to me about CPS, man. Should they open? Can black parents afford to stay home? And are you a bad parent if you send your kid back to school?
Well, yeah, I do think kids are going to have to go back to school because government can't afford to keep people home. So they gave us stimulus before, but they haven't given us anything now. And so, yeah, you're right. People do need to work. And so kids are going to have to go back to school.
Wow. Now, let me ask a question. Are you a parent? Are you a bad parent if you have to go? And should CPS open?
Well, I have 3 kids, 2 in high school and a pre-K.
Ooh, boy, you was big.
So, right.
You're like getting it in. What I'm supposed to be doing? You don't be careful. You be careful. Don't make sure you got one coming out of COVID.
Yeah, I hear you. No, none coming here though. But at pre-K though, you can't do anything with the pre-K at home. Mm-hmm. They need constant supervision. And so if you're trying to work from home with the pre-K, it's a lot harder. So I don't know how they do it, but yeah, you got to go back to work and to make money. So kids got to go back to school.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate your call. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Let me go to Tori. Tori, you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
To the morning team. Man, definitely these children need to be back in school. Yes, sir.
Oh, what up, Tori? How you feeling, dog?
I'm good, man. Yourself?
Oh, we got the big Willies calling in. Uh-oh. What's going on?
Man. I listen to y'all every day, bro, and I just dropped my son off. He's trying to wait into the car until we were on the air. But definitely, man, children need to go back to school. But not just for the parents, but for the children. Now, these children staying at home, bro, it's doing something to them psychologically, I believe. And I think that they need to be around other children. Now, I think the question is, though, is the school equipped to properly handle the kids coming back? I heard Todd talking. I don't know, Todd, if your kids still go to the same school my kids go to, but they do a great job with social distancing and notifying the parents and quarantining those that test positive. So I'm totally for children going back, but I think the school has to be equipped to handle it.
Now, is CPS doing enough to handle it? And I see y'all go to Big Willie schools, right? We I'm super Southwest, and I think our schools do a very good job of contact tracing, keeping parents aware, shutting down when they feel like they need to. But do you think CPS? Do you trust Dr. Janice Jackson to get it done for us to make sure our kids are being equipped safely? And I don't want to say equitably because, when the mayor yesterday jumped out and said it's equitable, this is all about equity, I was like, oh, dang. white people finna get rich. What does that mean for our kids? Like, you know, especially like when you think about Mollison and joints like that. Like, did they fit? Are those gonna be the same people?
And you know, I didn't see what the mayor said, but if she's talking about equitable, are the South Side and West Side schools going to have the same support that the North Side schools have? If that's the case, then, you know, maybe she's on to something. But you can't say it's going to be equitable and then South and West Side don't have the exact same resources.
And we have not ever seen that in Chicago. But I appreciate you, Tory, man. Hey, man, and I think, did I see something happen to your joint? Did I see a...
Oh, yeah, man, we had a young man under the influence early in the morning, about 8 o'clock in the morning, actually lost control of his vehicle and ran into the front of the building. Luckily, no structural damage happened. We actually just replaced all of that last week, and so now it pushed the opening back, but we'll be opening first week in December for carry out and delivery.
All right, man. Now, what's the restaurant, man? We're gonna be
nobody hurt.
No, that's beautiful, man. That's the blessing and the fact that you can recover and open. Hey, man, we're gonna be looking for some of that advertising when you get that. The first thing black people need is an advertising marketing budget. Don't forget your brother over there. But we look forward to.
Sure.
What's the name of the place again? Tell everybody what you got coming and where they can find it.
Yeah, it's called the Park Supper Club. You can go to www.theparksupperclub.com to learn more about what's happening. Definitely black-owned, black chef, upscale, boutique dining experience with live music. It's going to be off the chain. So, yeah, we appreciate it. We'll definitely be advertising with you.
Good stuff, man.
I'm
Shark Bar action.
Offline, so we can...
Shark Bar
yes,
action,
sir.
man. We
Absolutely.
need a new Shark Bar, man, on the South Side. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, appreciate all your support too, Maze.
All right, for sure. That is Tory Barrett doing his thing always on the South Side, the Clio Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. You don't know. Oh, Frank, you got 1 minute, man. 1 minute. Do it quick.
Okay, real quick. Well, I guess I got to be the oddball. First of all, good morning, Brother Mays and Brother Todd, Sister Sonia, and Ruthie, wherever you are. Brother Mays, come on now. We get a vaccine in hand. For those who are working, the governor had already given an executive order. You cannot be penalized for staying home for COVID release. We so protect our kids. If it was me, no, I'm not sending. I told my son, don't you dare send my grandchild to school until there is a vaccine. We have one in hand. I told my mother, no, I'm not going. If it was me, I'm not going. You're not going to change my name to this other man's name from my father's name. So I would stand up and say, I'm not going back to school, Mama. They got a vaccine. They already told you, if you get the measles or chicken pox and don't have no vaccine, approval vaccination, the schools would are allowed not to let you back in. So why is it different with COVID-19? You crazy you send your kids back to these schools, people. You don't truly love them, and you don't want to be bothered with them.
Good
okay,
Lord,
that's where I feel about it.
You don't love your kids if you send them back to school. All right, look, this is the Maze Jackson Show. Thank you, Brother Frank, for your call. We will be back after these messages with the Chancellor of the University of Illinois. We'll be right back.
AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
Hey y'all, this is Salim Muwakil from Muwakil's World. In case you missed the last discussion, this is what you missed.
There was a time when there was a large-scale mythology that African people had no endurance. We were only good for sprinting.
Right.
And that was our forte. Other than that, we were useless in marathon races. Establishing your patrimony on the land. If you bury the dead, that means that this land is forever in your family.
Who are our ancestors, really? We are the living ancestors to a whole genealogical line going back hundreds of thousands, millions of years that we carry within us living today. Everyone who preceded us. Mm-hmm. However, that conception took place, whether it was violently, with rape, or whatever the case, but we are them living today.
That's why it's important to understand our capacity, man. Our capacity is unlimited. We have unlimited potential.
Absolutely.
So make sure you tune in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1 p.m. on What's in It for the Black People Media.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For the black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all, yeah, this a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies, not other politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze, it's Sonia, and Ruthie, and Todd, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't tryna help us, they ain't tryna do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve on. What's in it for the black people? All the lies we heard before. Time to pay attention, you gotta do more than listen.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd, Stroger. Now, we are waiting for Chancellor Robert Jones from the University of Illinois to come on. I think we got him on the line. He got to turn his camera and his audio on. But we are waiting for him to come on. I am your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Ruthie Moore is out of the building right now, as well as Miss Sonia Escobar. We are trying to get the Chancellor. Are you there? Chancellor Jones.
That'd be funny. University of Illinois having computer and
hold on. Don't
problems.
start that. Don't start that. First of all, Illinois does not have engineering problems. You know what I'm saying? You know, we waiting on the Chancellor though. He's there. We just got to get him on. All right. So in the meantime, y'all, I am looking forward to. Hello, Chancellor?
Yes, I'm here. I've been here.
Okay, we can't see you though. Where's your? You got to turn your camera on.
Well, my camera is on, and at least I pushed the icon, and it won't let me turn the camera on for some reason.
You know what?
It's probably Maze's fault.
It's my fault. It's my fault, Chancellor. So you know what? We're gonna.
Of course it is.
Well, let me tell y'all what. I am excited to have him here. He is the Chancellor of the University of Illinois, Chancellor Robert Jones. Now, first of all, Sonia, did you find me? Did you? Thank you very much. I had to do it, Chancellor. I had to do it.
Mr. Chancellor, Mays wants to be an honorary cheerleader, and he wants to grab the big flag and run it all the way down the field.
Chancellor, all right, so you got so much big stuff going on at the University of Illinois. Talk to me, what is going on with, first of all, I got to ask you about the saliva shield test. What is going on? Fortune 500 is called the U of I test, and our system the best in the nation. Talk to me about what you're doing with the testing right now for COVID-19. Hello?
Uh-oh.
Chancellor? Sonia? Chancellor? Sonia? You know what?
Northwestern is doing some kind of interference.
We lost him. Chancellor?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay. All right. So, Chancellor, can you tell us what's going on with the University of Illinois? First of all, you got a lot of big things going on. Can you tell us what's going on with the Fortune magazine is called the our U of I test for the saliva test, the best in the nation. So start with me there. We got big things going on.
Well, we do have a lot going on, Mays. As you know, this saliva-based test is one of the most innovative in the nation. It was developed by our scholars and our scientists at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign for the main purpose of being able to bring 30,000 or so students and staff back to campus safely. And it has gone on to proven to be not only sufficient to do that, we're about 3 days away from meeting our target goal of hybrid face-to-face instruction. November 20th, we sent everyone away for the rest of the semester. And so it's only because of this whole testing protocol and actually the whole ecosystem, which consists of the epidemiological modeling, the saliva-based testing, and the digital contact tracing, that you have to have a icon that shows that you are COVID negative, more or less, before you can enter our classroom. So our classrooms and our university is the safest place in the state and one of the safest places in the nation because of our ecosystem. Other universities have noticed this and have signed on to also do our protocol. And so it's gotten a lot of recognition around the nation and around the world. So we could not be more excited, and we look forward to working with the new administration, hopefully to expand this across the country as we work with the governor to expand it across the state.
Now, Chancellor, so that you would look at the University of Illinois is what you believe will be the international model for contact tracing as well as this ecosystem. How do you envision an ecosystem like that being applied? How do you envision that being deployed nationally?
Well, part of it is the way that, you got to start local before you can go national, I guess, is my philosophy. So one of the things that we've done is that with the assistance of the University of Illinois system, we've developed an additional laboratory. It's called a mobile lab, but it's on wheels, but it's not going anyplace. It's stationed next door to where our testing capability is now. That's going to give us another 10,000 per day testing capability. And we are working, first of all, to try to stand up testing to the community here in Urbana-Champaign, across Champaign County. We have another entity that's called Shield Illinois that's working with the governor's office and the Illinois Innovation Network to expand this to other network sites across the state. And every one of those network sites has a university. And so that's our way of spreading it across the state. We're going to be working with the Mayor Lightfoot and her team to hopefully stand it up in key parts of Chicago and then out to the rest of the world. As I said, we've already are in partnership with the University of Wisconsin to stand it up there. Indiana is using our protocol. And so there are more than 30 or 40 universities alone across the country that are interested in what we're doing, as well as their countries, nations that are looking at standing up this protocol and ecosystem as well. So it's a big deal. It really does have When you combine it with the vaccine, it really does have the opportunity and the capability to be transformative, and we're very excited about that.
You know what, Chancellor, and I always am excited to know that the University of Wisconsin, where Todd went, is looking to partner, probably follow in our footsteps as our little cousins.
I'm all for it.
But Chancellor, let me ask you about, as we talk about this COVID-19 and testing, and you mentioned November 20th, young people are going to be going home. Talk to me about young people that are going to be traveling from universities back home. Are they going to be safe going back home, and what protocols are going to be in place for that?
Well, we really encourage them to make sure that they're going to be safe going back home, at least in terms of their own COVID status. We've asked them to essentially put themselves for the last week and a half on essential activities only, to kind of keep themselves in kind of quasi-quarantine, and that they get tested on their regular basis, and make sure that they have 2 negative tests this week before they get on a plane or in their car and drive to wherever they're going for the Thanksgiving break. That way we can be assured at least they're not taking COVID-19 back to their family, back to their dads, their grandmothers, and others in their immediate family that they may be spending time with. And we are very, very pleased that our rates went up a little bit a few weeks ago, but they're down back to where they were, significantly below 0.5%. And
Wait. Did you say you're below 0.5% in your COVID rates?
We've been below 0.5% most of the academic semester, with the exception of we had a 2.8% spike one day, and we asked our students to do essential activities only. They did it, and they brought it down in less than 14 days to below 0.5. And we had a little spike a few weeks ago after Halloween, and we asked our students and our faculty and staff to do the same. And so now I can tell you, if you look at the positivity rate for the University of Illinois, it is definitely, I think, one of the lowest, if not the lowest in the country, definitely the lowest in the state of Illinois. So there's not a safer place to be than on the campus of the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, in our classrooms and in our community. And it's because of this ecosystem, and it's because of leadership, Mays. I have to say, we would not be where we are if it wasn't for the amazing leadership of the mayors of Urbana-Champaign, the county executive, public health department, and most importantly, our students, who really responded well when we asked them to keep themselves safe and keep others safe by abiding by the protocol that we've established. I'm just so proud of each and every one of them. We had a few that didn't really listen that well, and fortunately we had to suspend a few people, but for the most part, our students have responded in a very thoughtful and respectful way. And I can tell you, they're so proud to be part of a university that would go to all of the innovation and all the cost associated with keeping them safe. I hear it every day, every time I go out of my office and interact with students on the quad or just walking around the campus. They stop and tell me thanks for all that we've done. But at the same time, many of our students are suffering because, COVID-19 fatigue is real. We're tired. We're all tired. But when you're tired and when you're fatigued and you see no end in sight, that's when you really have to kind of buckle down and push through. And that's what we do at Illinois. And I'm so proud of our community for the behavior that they're demonstrating that has allowed us to keep our community safe and be one of the few places that started out with a hybrid version of education. And it's very, very clear now that we will be able to make it through the rest of this semester as we had planned.
Chancellor, let me pause you right there. I got to take a quick break. And when we come back, I want to talk a little bit about that half and half hybrid model, how it's worked. Then we want to look ahead to what's going on in the spring semester. And, you said U of I is the safest place one of the safest places in the country for COVID-19, but it is not one of the safest places for somebody if you are playing basketball, right? I want to talk about the fact also that we are ranked number 8 as a former Illini who was there during the Flying Illini era. I am super fired up. I'm super glad to see people coming back. So I want to talk about all of that when we come back. Just give us a moment. We'll be right back with Chancellor Robert Jones from the University of Illinois. ILL! Todd, get it right.
I.
We'll be right back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
Chicago Famous, 3 to 6, Monday through Friday, right here on What's in It for the Black People Media.
You ever have one of those moments in Comic View that was just something you were like, wow, I can't believe that just unfolded like that?
Deion Cole will tell you, when he did his first Def Jam, he said he only had 15 minutes of material, but it was so impactful that they booked him, and now he's on the Def Jam tour with the 15 minutes, and he did 7 of them already on Def Jam. So now you got to create build an act. A new production company came in, and they decided, no, if they come out here and they bomb, show it, and put crickets.
Oh yeah,
they started putting little crickets and sound effects, and that didn't work. Over funny too. That's another behind the scenes comedy. Those laugh when you see people buckling over and laughing. That might not even be your audience.
They edited that from another.
Dude, you'll look and see this lady at all the episodes. You're like, she must be a paid audience member. How is that lady laughing at everybody's show? I used to do a job like one time. I saw me laughing at me on Comedy View. I'm like, how did I get in the audience on my own special? What are they doing?
Oh man. David Williams.
Those are the days, man.
Man, thank you for stopping by Chicago Famous.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show live on WBGX 1570 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Miss Ruthie Moore is out of the building. Sonia Escobar is doing her thing. Now check us out. You can watch us on the Maze Jackson page on Facebook Live. You can check us up on the Maze Jackson channel on YouTube. Listen to us on the TuneIn app. And don't forget, we got 12 hours of programming every single day. Now on the live line, we got the Chancellor of the greatest university in the country. Right? Just understand that, y'all. Like, just so y'all know, we invented the internet. Just so y'all clear. Just so you know, we are.
I think Al Gore will fight you. No, he won't.
Al Gore lost his real fight a long time ago. We don't even ain't nobody worried about Al Gore. But on the live line, we have Chancellor Robert Jones, who just made me even more beamingly proud, as well as all of the rest of the Fighting Illini out there, to know that the University of Illinois is the safest campus in the country. Probably the safest place in the state of Illinois right now. Probably the state of Illinois could learn a few lessons from the University of Illinois. But they also came up with some innovative learning, some innovative processes and some innovative learning types that they did this year, which included this half and half hybrid model. Chancellor Jones, can you describe what the hybrid model actually was? Chancellor? Is he got us on mute? Chancellor Jones. Chancellor?
It would be good if he could see us.
Like, hello? I think he put us on mute because he's still there. Okay, well, we'll wait for the Chancellor to come back.
What was the question? I'll answer that for you. No,
Talk to me about
kidding.
this half and half. I want to know about the half and half hybrid model. I think the University of Michigan probably sabotaged our our audio because they know we finna whoop them this year. UC U of I is about to have the best. We're ranked number 8 right now.
I see.
You see that? That means we're going to be pretty awesome. Chancellor Jones, are you there still? Goodness gracious. What done happened? Okay. Well, this is what we're going to do. We are going to let's do this. Boom. Chancellor, are you there?
You know, after the COVID's over,
thank you, Todd.
We should have the Chancellor invite us and the other black media groups down to the president's house for dinner.
You know, we should ask the Chancellor to invite us down.
See, I'm always trying to get a free meal.
You can't be asking the Chancellor for a free meal. Don't be embarrassing me, man.
I wonder if they have anything orange or blue on the plate.
They got I bet you they make like carrots.
Carrots.
Blue potatoes.
Oh, yeah, blue potatoes.
Carrots and blue potatoes.
Mace,
Chancellor, are you there?
Smart.
Chancellor, did we lose you? Oh, Lord. Can we give him the phone number? Can we just have him call 872-259-7474? Yeah. Can we just get him to call 872-259-7474? I'm going to send him a text real quick. 872.
Okie dokie.
All right. So y'all keep talking while I do this because y'all know I'm socially distracted.
Yeah. Well, you know, Sonia, I'm trying to think of something. I'm trying to think of something right now to talk about that I haven't talked about with before.
Okay. Well, we are waiting while we were waiting on Chancellor. Now, first of all, don't y'all talk about the Chancellor because the University of Illinois. So here, I use a different technology than most people. So probably what happens is they have all of these protocols and all of this stuff that they got to go through to get through my, and I don't necessarily always make it through everybody's firewall.
Right.
So maybe he got dropped or whatever. But we're going to ask him to call in and finish this conversation. We're going to wait for him to call back. But in the meantime, y'all, University of Illinois is going to be kicking butt. I want to encourage all of the parents, if you have a college-age senior that is trying to make a decision on what school to go to, then you want to send those children to the University of Illinois. Even if you make under 65. Wait a minute, is he back? He's listening to us. You got to turn that computer off now. Lord have mercy. Chancellor?
All right, just give me a minute here.
I got you. I'm sorry. Hold on. Look at that. There's the video. That's what I'm talking about. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Let's end the phone call. Chancellor, I'm about to take you on video right now. Give me 1 quick second.
See, that's what I've done. I'm like, get the computer tech up.
Bam. There it is. Now, Chancellor, can you see us?
Yes, I can.
All right, wonderful. Why am I getting... Hold on 1 more second. Why am I getting audio feedback? All right. Chancellor,
Maze did not inform us you were coming on, or we all would be wearing blue and orange.
We all would be. I did. Oh, you know what? I didn't tell you. All right, Chancellor, please. First of all, I'm grateful to have you here. I think you got to turn your computer down. I think your audio from your computer is actually what's up. That is what we're hearing right now. But Chancellor, I am wondering if you can tell us about the the hybrid learning model.
Sure. Hopefully you can hear me okay.
Perfect.
Okay, and I did turn the volume down on the computer. So, yeah, it's a hybrid model, but it's not 50-50 because I think you recall with the Restore Illinois order, we were only allowed maximum number of people inside of classrooms, and we also had the social distance or put at least 6 feet between every student. And so that meant it limited the amount of students that we could actually have in a particular classroom at any one point in time. So we started out the semester with actually about a little bit more than 30% of our students actually taking classes face-to-face on campus as a part of this hybrid model. And then about 70% of our courses were only online. But the ones that were face-to-face were also, you could access those online in case, for example, you became ill or something happened, you couldn't get to class. So that's the hybrid model. It's a blend of both face-to-face and online education. But notwithstanding that, the majority of our students, let me just give you an example. We had the majority of our students that were kind of taking the hybrid version, but we had about 9,000 students that registered for online only, but 7,000 of them actually came back to the campus and moved into their apartments, into their dormitories to participate online. So it's a complicated scenario, but that's basically what we've been able to do, Maze, is to have a blend of both face-to-face and online education in order to provide an opportunity for students to be back on campus, which we know is the best model, to have a chance to have some interaction with other students, some interaction with faculty members as well. And thus far, it hasn't been perfect, but we've reached our goal, I think, of keeping people safe. But it's been stressful for our students. It's been stressful for our faculty and staff. And we're trying to address the kind of emotional, mental health impacts of studying in the middle of a pandemic as well. And we've done everything from providing additional counselors to having telemental health access for our students, and actually creating more opportunities for them to come together in small groups safely. But it has allowed us to do what we set out to do. Many of our peers started out this way, but they were not able to complete the semester in this so-called hybrid model. And we're very, very proud of the ecosystem that we created that allowed us to do so.
You know what, Chancellor, I think one of the things that I thought that was very interesting, what you talked about with this hybrid model and even the students returning to school that had apartments. So my daughter was determined to get back because she just didn't want to live under the restrictions that we had at home, and she had her own place, and so she was determined to get back. It seems like you all took that into reality. It took the fact of the understanding of young people and how they kind of thrive and are gonna do what they're gonna do, and worked it into your plan. How did you get the people to understand that component of understanding really how young people think?
Well, we had the help of epidemiologists, biophysical modeling experts who model different kind of behavior that we could anticipate from our students. We knew that if we brought students back, first of all, we knew from them that most of them wanted to be back on campus, notwithstanding the pandemic. And we made it very, very clear that they had the option of completing the academic year at home. They could take a year off if they wanted, and they also had the option of coming back to campus. We made it very clear if they came back to campus, there was going to be certain behavior that we were going to expect out of them in terms of wearing masks, getting tested at least twice a week, doing social distancing, doing the testing that we required, and all the other things that we put up front for them and they still came back, and most of them abided by those rules. A few didn't. Few people had parties even though they were testing positive, and we were able to mitigate the bad behavior, the inappropriate behavior, because we had already anticipated 95% of it in terms of the fact that young people are going to go to parties no matter how much you tell them not to. And we just know that that's part of human nature. But what we hadn't anticipated was the fact that there will be a small number, and it only takes a small number to create a super spreader event. That there will be a small number of students and student organizations that were hosting parties and testing positive and not isolating and not staying in quarantine. But notwithstanding all of that, we created some amazing strategy called Shield 30, where we contacted every student within 30 minutes of them being notified that they tested positive and got them into isolation and quarantine. So that's the piece that I want your listeners to understand. Yes, we have we've done over probably about 830-some thousand tests since July 6th. We do about 4% of all the testing in the U.S. of A, and probably some days 30 to 40% of all the testing in the state of Illinois. And so because of our rigorous testing protocol, we probably have identified a little north of 3,000 students that have tested positive since we started back in the semester. But the number that tested positive, based on the way that we do it, is not the issue, because we're able to detect students before they become contagious and get them in isolation and in quarantine. Therefore, you mitigate the super spreader event. And so identifying people that are positive is a positive thing in our scenario, because the reason we are where we are today is because we identified those individuals with our very sensitive saliva-based test, got them into isolation and quarantine before they could spread it to others. And that has been the reason that we are still operating in our hybrid format, and we'll continue to do so until Friday. And then we'll start thinking, we have already thought about and laid out protocols for the spring and for next semester, starting in late January.
Three more things, and then I'm going to let you go. Talk to me about mobile testing. Talk to me about the innovation of the mobile testing that you all are introducing.
Mm-hmm. Well, the mobile lab, as it's called, we're calling it a mobile lab because that's what it is. It's essentially the semi, the trailer part of a semi, the part that's pulled behind the truck. Took one of those and completely redesigned it to be a mobile laboratory, that it could move to other places if needed. But what we've done, and so it has all of the equipment, all of the analysis capability as our permanent lab. And it's, as I said, they're not cheap to build. But the first one rolled off the line is parked right next to our vet diagnostic laboratory. And hopefully in the next few weeks, it will be up and running and adding to our capability to do an additional 10,000 tests per day. And that is going to give the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign to be able to do more than 20,000 tests per day once that's up and running. That has kind of been a pre-requirement for us being able to expand testing capability to the broader community, which is one of our key goals and objectives. We absolutely have to do that, and it's absolutely core to what we're trying to achieve. So it's a big deal, isn't it? It really is a model of what could be deployed across this nation, across the state and across the nation.
Real quickly, I know you got to go. Pandemic a lot of people have lost their income or their income has dropped significantly. Talk to me, is Illinois' commitment still in place for families making $67,000 a year? Then you got to tell me about, we got an astronaut in space right now, and we got the basketball team ranked at 8, and then I'll let you go. But you got to tell me, are you still holding up your commitment?
Well, that's one thing about a commitment. If you're true and honest and a principle, you stick to it. So that's why we call it a commitment. Yes. The Illinois commitment is a commitment. And yeah, we are suffering significant financial losses because of COVID-19. But the educational access and affordability is something that I care greatly about. And we have no plans to reduce that commitment. We have made a decision that there are certain things that we're not going to do, but there are certain investments that the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign are absolutely committed to maintaining, and the Illinois commitment is at the top of that list. Yeah, we're very proud of Mike Hopkins being up in the International Space Station. We tell our students, each and every one of them, to reach for the sky. But Mike decided to reach to the sky and go a bit further than that. And so we're very, very proud of him and all that he has done and will continue to do on behalf of the space program. And so we could not be happier.
And now,
I think the last question has something to do with basketball.
Yeah, well, we got a frat brother up there, too, in the space, too, with him, with Mike Hopkins. So we got to figure out how we get Mike Hopkins and University of Illinois connected, because there's a member of Phi Beta Sigma in space right now, too. The black member is a member of Phi Beta Sigma, so we got to connect that, because y'all know the Chancellor is a member of Phi Beta Sigma. Last question. Tell me about the basketball team.
Tell you about, yes. I think hopefully people know and realize that we are ranked number 8, and we're very, very excited about our basketball program this year. We're very, very pleased that there's recognition of the excellence that Illinois has been able to bring to bear on the basketball court in the last couple of years. It's going to be a very, very exciting basketball season. And I think one of the first games is going to be the bragging right game in a couple of weeks down in Missouri, where we actually play Missouri every year. Normally it's in St. Louis, but this year, yeah, we're going to, and people think that I'm conflicted. I did my PhD at the University of Missouri, and the current Chancellor of Missouri did his PhD here at Illinois. So it's kind of an interesting dynamic, but I think Moon Choi is his name, and Moon and I have known him for a number of years. But we were very, very clear which team we were supposed to be rooting for. I know I am. I don't know about him.
There's only one team.
We will beat Missouri and go on to, kind of crush the rest of the competition across the Big Ten and beyond. I'm absolutely sure that we are going to have an amazing season. And I could not be more proud of our basketball team and all of our student athletes.
That is the Chancellor of the greatest university in the state, city, country, world, the University of Illinois. Shout out to our Chancellor, Robert Jones, for always taking such a good amount of time out with us. Yeah. Got to send a big shout out to my girl, Andrea Darlis, as well, who always hooks it up. And Chancellor, I think we got a chance of getting my daughter down at the University of Illinois. My income has dropped significantly. No, I'm just joking. But we still got to get her down there. I'm still holding out hope. Thank you so much for taking our time. We appreciate you always making time for us right here at What's in It for the Black People Media. And if we can ever be of service, don't hesitate.
Yes.
My pleasure, guys. Always a pleasure. I'm sorry for the technical difficulty, but I'm glad that we had a hybrid version of the show today.
You know what? It all worked out, and you know what? Always leave it up to the Illini. They'll always figure it out. We knew it was going to be good. Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you so much.
My great pleasure. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Hey, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. That is Chancellor Robert Jones. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
Yo, who said devotion had to be sad? Yo, check this out. The Lord is my shepherd, and I want. He's making me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside the still waters. He restored my soul. God's gonna turn it around.
Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. Please. Please don't leave me now. Please don't leave me now. Please. From glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, oh, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around. From glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, oh, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Dear Lord, it's me again. God's gonna turn around. I'm calling on you. You did it before. I believe that you can do it again. Somebody calling you right now, Lord. If it ain't one thing we need, somebody else needs you for another. Please, son, look and have mercy. Have mercy over our home, Lord. Have mercy. Have mercy. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show.
You go, you Nazarene.
Woo! My God. Man, if they would have played that in church, they might have got me.
They might have got you.
They might have got me. That song made me want to catch the Holy Ghost. Y'all make me want to have a Sunday morning praise show before we get our kickoff on. Y'all think we could beat Joel Osteen in the ratings? Y'all know I could preach. Don't make you know who ain't been around in a minute?
Who that?
Minister Mays.
Oh yeah.
We got to get Minister Mays on around here. You know what, Todd? I'm also digging this look we got today. I don't know if you checking it out, but we are, instead of split screen, we on the same screen. So I think I'm gonna have to put Ruthie a camera over
notice
there.
that.
It's like it's like you see the blend, you can see all the action. I think we might have to, we might have to change up our little look a little bit. Woo! And that was not house music, for the record. So I told y'all I hate house music.
If that ain't house music, there is no such thing then.
That was not house music. I need to also send a big shout out to the men of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. I want to send a big shout out to our astronaut. Hold on, let me make sure I get it right. Victor J. Glover Jr., who is in space right now. Shout out to the men of Phi Beta Sigma, Blue Phi, Shout out to Chancellor Robert Jones, Chancellor of the university that is going to save the world, the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. And much love to all the HBCUs. I give all the HBCUs y'all love. But shout out to the University of Illinois for probably saving the world.
Hey, that's cool with me. Somebody got to save it.
I know. So I just want to say that. And I want to remind everybody that is on Facebook right now talking about that was house. That is not house music. I do not like house music. It is not houseful either, Salim. Muwakil making up new words that is not in the dictionary. Woo! Did y'all see your man Trump? Okay. Did y'all see Donald Trump? His final attempts are failing. They tried yesterday in Michigan to not certify the votes out of Wayne County. Almost pulled it.
There's no reason to pretend. We knew that it had to end this way.
So now Donald Trump is running out. How long do you think it will take before he finally gives up? Do you think everybody else in the Trump regime? I am now of the
He will never give up. He's going to use this as an arm of the Trump, empire or something, to always be stirring something up, see what they did to me.
Does Donald Trump fade out after this, or does he continue?
No, because now he can be a martyr. That's why he's fighting this fight. Look how they treated me. I should be the president. You know it, right? Yeah, Donald. That was his followers. But he ain't coming back, though.
So here's what I got. Did you see also, as Joe Biden names his administration, I keep waiting to see who the black people are.
You keep on waiting to see my name pop up?
Yeah. I've been waiting on your name to pop up. But anyway, so check this out, Todd. Shout out to Congressman Cedric Richmond, chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus, on his announcement to the appointment of into the Joe Biden cabinet. Now, Todd, what I need you to do is not blow the joke, because if they weren't here earlier, they don't know who it is.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what, job? Black people, we should rejoice. We are about to get it down. Todd, tell me, do you think we got the Department of Defense?
Commerce?
Homeland Security?
Post office.
No, we ain't getting post office. How about the Department of Education? Department of Agriculture?
Oh, yeah.
Human Services? HHS?
Human Services. Billions of dollars, multiple agencies, opportunities to employ hundreds of people.
Ooh, yeah.
Shout out to Joe Biden and Cedric Richmond for becoming the chairman of the director of public engagement. You know what that means? He gets to coordinate the White House visits.
I was thinking, man, maybe I can get to the White House now.
He gets to make the dinner reservations. Well, maybe we can run the kitchen. We get the kitchen spots.
I'm hungry right now. Stop saying it.
Speaking of hungry, man,
Go from tacos.
I want some lemonade.
That
And
cool, refreshing
and I
juice.
want to roll. Todd. So I guess my question becomes: is this a sign of what we should expect?
I think there'll be more.
How will we know if we? How do we know if we win in the Biden administration, Blackwood?
We need to go up there and say, "Please, sir, can I have some more?"
And what would
that
we
was
want?
Oliver. Hey, see,
We want.
you missed that movie.
but I know that part. I seen it before. So, how will we be repaid politically? You saw the day ones.
Well, I think this is a start because I think the problem that the Obama administration had was they had no true contact. You know, I don't know where this guy comes from, but if he's from Louisiana, he probably from New Orleans.
He had, but that was where Desiree Rogers was from.
Ooh. But anyway.
But man, I'm just saying, right? Light-skinned black people get that job.
I don't know who. I don't know him, but and I don't know if he might be from the Ninth Ward for all we know, bro. But he, this is saying, okay, I can have a person who can bring back ideas that black people want. I don't think Obama had anything like that.
He had Office of Public Engagement, and it was a black person in charge.
Yeah, but
That's the sign job. I'm just telling you now. Let me just be clear. If you are black,
might be different because
if you are black, that is
Obama
where they channel
never
you.
looked or even acted like he thought that it was black people who brought him over the top.
You know who gets that job? That's the job of the person that goes to all the events, right? Like, you know how in the black world, like in corporate America, there's the black guy at the company whose job it is to go to spend the charitable money.
Yeah.
And to go all the, right? And to be at all the places and all. That's that job. Like, so in a campaign.
But you can yell at that guy too, though.
Yeah, you can yell at him, but who listens to him? He's like, you're talking to the black people.
No, but his job is to go and report, man, I just got yelled at about this.
And so, okay, so I'm going to just say this. In the power rankings, where does the Director of Department of Defense or Public Engagement?
Oh, he's not in the kitchen cabinet.
Okay,
but.
so hold on. Department of Agriculture versus the Department of Public Engagement. Who wins? I just want y'all to know that the head of the Department of Public Engagement before was Omarosa. When I went to the White House and I went to go see Omarosa, guess what her job was? Director of Public Engagement. It's the black job.
But I knew what Trump was about. See, y'all going like, woo, he gonna help us. No, we knew what he was about.
How about Joe?
You're gonna get something out of Joe.
What we gonna get?
For some reason, he got some kind of white guilt going on, so you're gonna get something out of him.
Okay.
Trump ain't got no guilt for nothing.
Well, this is what I'm gonna say. This is all I'm gonna say. To the black people who said, wait.
Wait for what?
You are to ask Joe.
Oh.
You have to hold their feet to they gotta come back with it now. Just telling y'all now. Let me tell y'all what.
I'm gonna bet you dollars to donuts, your dollars to my donuts, that there's gonna be a black person in a high position.
Right, it's gonna be agriculture.
Is it gonna be ag? Ag is big.
Ag is big. No, I ain't gonna put agriculture there. No, it ain't gonna be that. It's gotta be something like what's an innocuous position?
Energy? Does they still have a Department of Energy?
That's what Bobby Rush is the chair of. See how that worked out for us. Oh no, he's not the chair, he's the senior member.
Oh, right. No.
Saying ComEd.
It's the House. So he can't be the senior member.
Oh, well, yes, the House. He is the senior member, the senior. Oh, he would be the chair if it was. Okay, we got to figure it out. Anyway, so let me ask you a question. How do we?
Oh, I hate
we
to
should have
interrupt.
asked for every
subcommittee.
Oh, okay, subcommittee. So here's what we got to do. We got to ask every. We got to go to every chair, and we got to say what's in it for the black people, or whatever you want to say. But I think there needs to be a request and a demand from every department.
I totally agree.
Like there should be a black request. You know where they should put the black person? Hood, housing and urban development. And then let us build tall buildings.
Wasn't that Ben Carson?
Y'all hated on him for that. But
yeah,
I'm saying.
I needed a doctor.
He's a doctor.
I need a doctor.
He should have been a surgeon general.
Yeah.
He could have been a surgeon general. But it's like, so I guess my question becomes, y'all. They need to know Cedric Richmond is not enough. They need to understand that. They're just really.
Oh no, I'm positive.
Why is that the first big announcement they made? They announced the big three and Cedric Richmond.
Who were the other two?
No, 3 and Cedric. The big three, and then they announced Cedric. It's like the big three are announced. Oh, and by the way, Cedric Richmond. So I'm not tripping. I'm no shade, because maybe I'll get an invite to the Biden White House. Susan Rice is not going to be Secretary of State. No, not happening. No. Didn't she kill Gaddafi?
He's tougher than that. I bet she could take her. But
hey, y'all, this has been the Maze Jackson Show. You know what we need to do? You all need to tune in today and check out the budget, the City Council Finance Committee hearings today, because the mayor is going to unveil her budget plan after everything. I want to see. Here's the thing: the white people are sticking together. They sticking to their guns. So it seems like she should be trying to punk them and telling us nice things, but it doesn't seem to work that way.
No, because black folks are always supposed to, because we always need.
Because we got to make sure the white people get rich. All right, y'all. This is the Maze Jackson Show. So for my co-host, Todd Stroger, Miss Ruthie Moore, who is not with us, but is always with us in spirit. For Sonia Escobar, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking the question every single day, what's in it for the black people? What's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them, Lord, he maketh me to lie down. This is not house music, but I'm here to tell you, I got to know what's in it for the black people, and if you don't like it, Lord, walk with me. You can tell them. May said, we out of here. Peace.
Come all the way with me. Oh, please. Please. Please don't leave me now. Please don't leave me now. Please. From glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave